Welcome back to another episode of How to Airbnb. My name's Andrew and I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about Airbnb. Let's go. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 1 on how to manage your Airbnb. Let's get started with part 2. So in part 2, I'm going to talk about screening guests, canceling reservations, first contact, preparing your home, check-in day, and greeting guests in person versus self-check-in. When it comes to screening potential guests, or even people that have already reserved with you, it's very simple. The general rule that I use is that the moment that a conversation or an inquiry becomes complicated or hard, it means that something's wrong. Airbnb is very simple. One of the first ways that I do my screening process is by the profile picture. And what I mean by that is there a profile picture? Usually good guests have their picture up and it's clear and it's very easy to tell who they are. When there isn't a profile picture, I usually ask them to upload a picture before even moving forward with trying to convert them into a sale. Let's say they do have their profile picture. The next thing that I do is I go look at their profile. I try and read a little bit about them. A lot of guests don't have anything there and that's not a big deal. But some of them do, and it gives you an idea of who this person is. Another good thing to do is if it's not a new guest and they do have reviews, read them. You're going to figure out if this is the type of person you want in your home just by reading those 4 or 5 reviews that they have. After you've read their reviews and you've decided that this person is a good fit for your home, keep the dialogue between you and them short. There's no need to go into specific details. It's very simple, a good back and forth, quick 1-2 messages, and that's all you really need to do. No need to be writing yourselves books or paragraphs back and forth. Remember, Airbnb is supposed to be simple. Something I do when my guests are not answering my messages is I call them. Usually they pick up and I'm able to start a dialogue with them, and if they don't, I just simply leave them a voicemail. Usually they get back to me. So let's say you have Insta booking on and somebody reserves your place and they don't have a profile picture. In their profile they have nothing. They have 2 reviews and one of them's negative, and they're not answering your messages. And at the end of the day, you just don't feel comfortable with hosting these people. And the nice thing is, you can cancel. The really simple way of doing that is call Airbnb. Tell them, hey, this person booked my place. They don't have a picture. They have a bad review. They're not answering my messages. I don't feel comfortable hosting them. I'd like to cancel. Don't be afraid to cancel reservations that make you uncomfortable. They're going to be staying in your home. Make sure you like them. So let's say you get a reservation. Everything's good. They have a profile picture. They have a profile description. They have a couple good reviews. They're going back with you. They're answering your questions online. What you want to do in that point is, like I said before, is you want to keep your conversation brief. In your first contact, you want to give them your instructions on how to check in to your home. Something that's very important, a tool that I use a lot with all of my listings, is a welcome guide. This is a document that has all of the instructions my guests are going to need to check in. Instead of typing it up each time I get a new booking, I typed it once, I made it very nice and legible, and I just link them to that document. And from there, they have everything they need to check in. And it makes my life easier because I don't need to message them about it. Another important thing to do in that message is you want to thank the guest for booking with you. Remember, they just gave you money. Even if you don't have it yet, they chose you, so thank them for it. Now that you have your first booking, the next step is preparing your home. What you need to do now is make sure that it's super clean. Go over your entire house, make sure every room is clean, no dust, organized. A mentality that's good to have when you're preparing your home for your guests is think of it as your in-laws are coming over for the weekend and it's the first time that they're staying in your house. So what do you want to do in that case? You want to make sure the bathroom is clean. You want to make sure you get rid of all the old food in the fridge. You want to organize your desk. You want to make a good impression. And you want to make a good impression on these guests. When it comes to check-in day, what I like doing is on the day that my guests are supposed to arrive, I send them a message on that day to make sure that they have everything that they need. That check-in is going to go smooth. When it comes to check-in, there's two ways. One, you greet them in person. Two, you use a self-check-in. Now, they both have their pros and cons. I'm going to talk about it just for a little bit. It's probably going to be something I'm going to dive into in another video. When you're greeting people, I guess the benefit would be you get to see in person who's going to stay in your home. One of the cons though is you have to organize a specific time to be there, and when it comes to travel, there's always delays. So it can be a little bit inconvenient to meet every single one of your guests. When it comes to self-check-in, let's say with a auto lock or with a lockbox, it's a little bit easier because your guests can check in at any time and you don't have to be there for a specific time. And if there's a delay, well, it doesn't affect you or the guests and there's just less pressure. One of the issues though with self-check-in is it is a little bit more risky because you don't meet who's going to be staying in your home. A really good way to alleviate that stress is if you have an entrance camera. And what I mean is not a camera that's looking into your home, observing your guests and keeping an eye on them, but literally a camera that you put above your door so when people check in, when they go into your home, you can tell who's there. So that is the end of part 2. Make sure to click in the description for part 3. And before you go, please make sure to leave me a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with the videos that I'm posting. As always, keep hosting.